Hello and welcome to the DNR-322L configuration guide. What we're going to do is we're going to take you through the basic configuration of this device. We will start by connecting to mydlink.com. All web-based configuration in this video on Internet Explorer. First we'll load up mydlink.com, go to the support section and then click on storage. You'll see the various storage devices offered for the Mydlink service, and we click on the DNR-322L and you'll see the various downloads available for it there. You'll see that there's downloads for Windows as well as the Mac operating system, OS X. If you click on the setup wizard, see down the bottom you'll get the prompt to download. The setup wizard is now downloading to the computer. This is actually a zip file, so once you get it downloaded you'll have to unzip it to run the setup wizard. So we now go to the download location of the setup wizard. Here you'll see the downloaded file. Extract the file, or extract all the files inside, and then click on the one with the big D, which is the setup wizard. Ensure you give it permission to access all kinds of networks, just in case you've got a restricted network set up on your computer. Click Start once you've selected your language. The first few pictures shows you basically how to install the drives in the DNR itself, how to connect the cables, and look for the power LED. Now what you see here is the setup wizard scans for all devices connected to the particular local network here. If you happen to have more than one, you have to look for the one that has the blinking LED at this point. Because if you have more than one and you're clicking on the wrong device here, then of course you won't be able to set it up. When you begin, the username is admin and the password is left blank. So at this point you just leave it blank and click next. Now you actually configure the admin password for the device. Note that it does say between 5 and 16 characters. Clicking next again, and the next section deals with the hard drives that are installed in the device. You can see here listed the what's in there at the moment. Now you'll see that it says NVR only. You can actually have it running as either an NVR and a file server if you have 2 disks in the device. If you have only 1 disk in the device, then all you can do is set it up as the NVR. And you also have the ability to skip this section if you don't want to do the format of the disks at this point. You can skip it. That's set for if you have any kind of setup already on the device. Perhaps you're putting drives in from a previous NVR into this. But if you do continue and you click next on this page, you will format all the information. You will format the drive, and all the information on it will be gone. So the format is now beginning. Now normally this may take a few minutes to complete, depending on the size of the drives that you've got in there, and what type of format you select as well. And you'll see how long is left by the progress bar that's currently on the screen in the setup wizard. And you see the volume name there, volume 1. And there we go, the format has now completed. Now this section deals with the connection of the cameras. You can actually have the NAS automatically find and recognize the cameras. The point to note with this is that the cameras if you can only use D-Link cameras with this particular DNR. If you are connecting cameras to it for the automatic search, then the cameras must be in their default state, which means their username must be admin and they must have a blank password. The setup wizard will not be able to automatically search for and add the cameras. Sorry, I apologize. Will not be able to automatically add the cameras if they have their own password set. And you can see here the setup wizard has found 2 cameras. It lists the IP address of the camera, the model name, and the current camera name. Okay, this is the point where it actually will try and add those cameras, and it will report the success or failure of that on the next screen once the search is actually finished. Now you can see the cameras actually already have a password assigned because the connection has failed for both ones. But that's okay. This can be actually done within the DNR's own setup interface, rather than in the setup wizard. The wizard just collects various basic setup tasks into one place, but it can be done again later. This page is regarding the creation of a Mydlink account or the addition of the DNR to an existing Mydlink account. You'll see that you've got a box for the email address that you will use, as well as the password. It'll ask you to retype the password to make sure you've typed it correctly, and then your first and last name. Plus you also have to tick the box for accepting the Mydlink terms and conditions. Now all this information is for signing up for a new account. And you can of course also skip this part as well and do it again later. Now if you have actually already signed up for an account, or if the email address you're using is already being used for an account, then you can just select you already have an account, put in the email address, put in the password for that account, and then add the DNR to the existing account. It'll take a few seconds for that to complete, and then that is the completion of the initial setup wizard with some basic summary information, and finally the installation of the Microsoft Visual C++ package. Back to Internet Explorer, and now we're logging into the web interface of the DNR-322L itself. You need the Java plugin for this. You'll see you click on the brick on the left side at the top by the address bar, and you can activate the Java plugin, and then you have to agree to the various prompts. If you get a security block, you then load up the control panel in Windows and open the Java control panel applet. Go to the security section, and what you have to do is add the address of the DNR into the exception site list. Add it in, click accept to close the control panel applet. You can then get rid of the control panel again, refresh the page. You'll get the prompts again, and this time you should be able to load it. It's worth pointing out that you'll need a static IP address on your DNR. It's generally a good idea to have that anyway, but you'll need a static IP address. Otherwise, if the IP address of the DNR changes, then the exception site list doesn't work. Okay, so now you can see the live video. So click on the setup section, go to camera setup, and just clear everything out here. So you see, you click the clear button, you click save settings, and now the camera list is now empty. And you see you've got entries for 9 different cameras in this list. This search will search for any cameras on the local network via UPnP. So if the UPnP function on the network is actually disabled, this won't work. I think it's fair to say the majority of routers these days do actually have UPnP, the UPnP function in them. So to add a camera, give it a name. We're giving it the UPnP camera add name here, but you can give it a name relating to the location. And now you see the camera is now added. Got a live video, Java prompts. See the UPnP in the camera list at the right hand side. Click on it. Let's just double click on it, and then you see the stream begin. And you'll see in the top left hand corner also you've got the name of the camera. So if you are looking at looking through different camera images, you'll know which camera you're looking at because it has the name. Okay, camera list is now clear again. But this time we're adding the camera manually into the list. So you type in the name. This time you have to type in the IP address. Again, your camera, like the DNR, should have a default IP address, a static IP address. You've also got the port number in there, the administrator name, which is as normal admin, and also the password. In this case there is no password, but add in the password and the DNR will be able to add it. And then also finally give the camera model. You've clicked save. Java prompts again on live video. Double click the camera name. And there you go. And we're now going to the recording schedule in the setup section. This is where you can schedule the actual how you record and when. The various options here. The number of days in which you can store the recording before the recording starts to cycle. Here you have the schedule where you can set by day or by week. So by day means it will be the same recording times every day, but by week means you can specify different recording time periods per day. So you can have a different set from Monday to Friday, and then a different setup for the weekend. Select the day, click configure, and here you can enter specific start times along with the pre and post recording length, whether or not to have audio, whether or not you're having always record or record on event. If you're recording on event, then you select motion from a particular camera. If other events are available, you'll be able to select those too. Click OK, and that then is that particular camera configured for the particular days that you're recording. Note that if you're configuring motion detection, then the actual motion detection function is configured on the camera itself. And see here on week mode, you'll have the camera name with the individual days set. So here it is. You're configuring one particular day with the same settings as in the previous setup. but you're setting here Sunday, and here you can actually copy that particular setup to the other days of the week should you wish, and you can also apply it to the other channels, so the other cameras available there as well, so you don't have to set up each one individually, you can actually just copy it over. Click Save Settings, and that's the schedule configured. So in order to actually configure the motion detection, you can see here the IP address of the camera that we want to actually configure motion detection on. If you go to the audio and video section, and what you'll see here is there's a link that says Go to Web. That'll open up another link on the web browser and give you a prompt for the username and the password. In this instance there is no password. You'll be in the camera's interface. You go to the setup section, click on motion detection, and here you have motion detection settings. So that's the browser-based configuration of the DNR-322L done, as well as the motion detection in the individual cameras. We're now going to have a look at the Mydlink Web Portal and the functions that are available on there. So you'll log into your Mydlink account on the web portal using the details that you created in the setup wizard initially. Here you see within your account you've actually got the device listed here on the left side, and a little green tick that shows you the device is actually reported as online to the Mydlink server. You're now being asked to allow the installation of an ActiveX control, which allows you access to the functions of the DNR-322L via the Mydlink Web Portal. That's just for Internet Explorer only. Mydlink functions loading now, and you can see you've got 4 tabs there, and now you can see the live view. Okay, you look at the icon at the top right hand corner of the screen. It was previously blue. Motion detection being enabled. When it's triggered, that turns red. And you've got the various icons down the bottom there for the various controls of the camera. The playback section, again another ActiveX control for this. And the playback section will give you access to the videos that are actually stored on the DNR itself. Here you've got the username and the password for the DNR itself. And what you can see are the various play controls down the bottom. The first one is the date time search. So this enables you to choose which video you want to play back. You can select, of course, from whichever camera you've got, and you can see the lines there indicate the recordings that are available. Record always is in red, and record on event is in blue. Choose your date and time. You'll queue up, press play, and there's your video playing back. So you've got your standard sort of setup playing buttons here. Play, pause, stop, fast forward and skip. You can also manually drag the play slider along. Here you have also the speed. You can play it faster if you want to skip through a long video, or you can play it slower if you want to go step by not quite, but almost frame by frame. And you'll see also the date and time represented by whatever point on the video is just below the video screen there. As I said, it's not actually frame by frame playback. It's just running through very, very slowly. Audio on the right there as well, if you've got audio on your recorded video. Here you have the ability to take a screenshot with or without the on-screen display. You can save the image. That then can be passed to whoever you wish to pass the picture to. And the next tab is the status of the device. This will give you the status of the actual the disks in the device, and also the camera status, what it's doing, what frame rate, etc., and so on. And on the settings page, you've got the basic information about the DNR itself. You can remove it from the account, but you can also access the web configuration interface directly from here by clicking on the Advanced Settings button, and then you'll get to the familiar screen you've seen already.